I'm David Bratanek and I'm here with Steve Park. We are out talking about the new builds over there on Marion. So I was just driving by and I saw the signs and I went back and I found your website and I was looking through and I liked some of the plans. So what do I do from here?
So because we don't have a model up yet and we are planning on building 7 homes uniquely built for people, probably the first thing you would do is you'd come and sit down with us and we would go through the options and the process for building with Millstone Homes.
Okay, so you said that we're building 7 homes. Are those being built all together at the same time?
So the goal is to build all 7 of them, yeah. So what we were starting to do is we're starting to look for clients to build these houses. Mm-hmm. And so what you would do is you would come and we would sit down and go through them. And if you liked what you saw, we would get what I would call a soft commitment from you. And then we jump in the car together and we drive down, and Millstone has some gorgeous models in London.
Okay, so we actually go and get to see what the builder is currently building.
For sure, because you're going to be able to have a lot of options, right? So if you see what's standard, whether it's black or white or whatever the color is or the design is, that's up to you. But at least you know that everything is the same standard.
Okay, so when I go in, is the house that I build going to look the exact same with all the same cabinets and the same color scheme and all that stuff? Or is that something that I get to choose?
Well, that's the nice thing is you can go down and you can say, I want the same decor as Lot 5 Sandalwood or whatever the model we show you. Or you can say, I would like to pick everything. I love that process.
Oh, wow.
So the quality would be the exact same thing, but it would be a completely different home.
Okay, and what if I take a look, and you mentioned about sitting down and looking at some plans. What if I just feel like there's just nothing that's exactly right for me? What can I do in that situation?
So the nice thing is that Millstone has their own design team. So what you would do is when we went to London and after we met went and saw the models, we'd go back if you wanted to take the next step, we would go back and you would sit down with the design team at Millstone Homes.
So in this process, you have a number of plans that are out on your website, and I like those, but there was a plan that I saw from another builder. Could I bring that to you and get that priced out?
For sure you can. Now there's some proprietary things that we would have to either get that plan from that builder or find that. So that's one little limiting factor. The other thing is keep in mind we only have 50-foot wide lots. So as long as you build within that 42-foot building footprint, we can build pretty much anything you'd like.
Okay, so if I want to change a plan, let's say I want an extra, some extra square footage by bumping out the back of the house or something like that. Is that something that they would do, or would I have to, create a whole new plan for myself?
No, we would create the plan for you. Millstone would actually. There's just one thing that they will not compromise, and that is the quality. So if you say, well, I really want to downgrade, there will be no siding on the properties, on the houses, for example. So if you said, well, I want to save a little bit of money, can you just side the house for me? That's not going to be an option. But that's the nice thing is that you know that your neighbor is going to be the same quality as yours is.
So I'm a big fan of certain color schemes, and I don't really like the more, all the grays. I like a little bit more bold colors. Could I pick green carpet or blue walls? Is there any limitation on what I can choose for that?
So interior, there's no limitations. The only limitations is your budget. Exterior, we're going to want to try and keep a little uniformity to the houses as far as color codes go. But the nice thing is that when you sit down with Millstone's design team, you can go through and say, in your case, you wanted green walls with blue carpets and yellow ceilings, and they would probably advise you to do a little bit more color matching. But in the end, if you want that, they're going to do it for you. Because we're building a house for you, not for Millstone. Millstone just wants to be able to say 5, 10, 20 years from now, we built that home on Marion in Bryce Grove.
And so if I got started today, how long will it take to build a house? Does it take a year? Does it take 3 months? I've never done this before.
Well, the neat thing is you say you've never done it before. That literally doesn't matter because you're just picking, that's all. We will give you advice on things, but in the end, Millstone does it all for you. So you don't need to think, oh my gosh, I've never built a home, maybe I should try it elsewhere. But to your first part of your question is, it takes about 4 months from the date they dig to the date you get the keys. So if you use that as a parameter, the outliers are, when are we going to get the services in, and are there going to be any weather issues? Because if we get, I absolutely love snow, for example. So if we got a snowstorm for 5 days, that might set Millstone back. But in the end, what you're going to get is you're going to get an outset of probably 4 months to build the home, and we would give you an idea when we're going to start digging. We're looking at probably somewhere between, at the earliest, a March 1st closing date, although at the end, probably September closing. So somewhere along in there would be your closing date.
So is there anything that I need to be thinking about to get prepared for the financial aspect of it, or should I run this by my lawyer first? What should I do in this situation?
Well, that is actually probably a whole conversation for another video, because there is very little special things that go on, but there's some incentives. The government has got some incentives, but let's get into that maybe next time.
Yeah, that sounds great. I think we'll go back and maybe we can meet in the office next time,
Yeah.
and we can go through some of these issues with what to do with lawyers and financing and all that stuff. And we look forward to seeing you out there.